lonely, but not when you hold me. Your beauty weighs on me. This feeling's too good.
Okay, today's Tuesday, Chevy Talks. Today I want to talk about something specific. I actually want to talk about the whole approach to the fear, to the don't talk about your manifestations until they come into your reality. And you guys know I don't like to use the word manifestation, but right now we're just going to use that for just because. But I had this mindset at first, and I made a TikTok video about it. It's this one right here if you ever want to watch it. But I talked about how as a child I wouldn't get excited about things until they actually happen, and I realized that that was coming from a fear-based mindset, a lack mindset. And when we are approaching life, we should always try to go at it from an abundant mindset, abundant perspective, whatever. But I saw something interesting. I was scrolling through TikTok and I noticed that there's a creator on TikTok and that is also a part of the Soul TV program, which is the spiritual platform or whatever, this platform that I'm creating content for. And I noticed that this is a person who calls themselves a manifesting coach or whatever, but their TikTok video was about why you should not talk about your manifestations. And I just wanted to bring in my 2 cents on this, whether you agree with me or not. But when it comes to that, like I said, I did have this sort of mindset of not talking about it, but I realized that the reason you're not talking about it is because of, like I said, a fear-based mindset, thinking like, oh, I have to keep this hush-hush because there's a certain part of you that cares about what others think, or like thinking that others are sending you in negative energy, which is true because they can send you negative energy intentionally and unintentionally. And then you have the whole evil eye thing, which I noticed. I went through the comments and people were saying the same thing, like, this is true, this is why I don't talk about my manifestations. But you doing something, you trying to bring something into your life, or bringing something into your life, someone outside of you shouldn't have this much of an effect on you that you completely shut down and you don't share parts of yourself. I understand with not talking about the whole details and everything, but when you say something like that you're going to bring into your life, like, you should have confidence that it's going to work, and you shouldn't be knocked off with that by your belief that that somebody else, just because of whatever somebody else is thinking or somebody else is saying. I'm having a little trouble talking today, but in her video she was talking about how she said, let's say that I'm manifesting a house, and I tell somebody and then I end up not getting the house. Now I'm the one that looks stupid. So this is what this person is saying. And as I'm watching the video, what's going through my mind is I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, well, when you're manifesting things, it's tricky because, and this is why I don't like to use the word manifestation. It's tricky because, I guess we're manifesting every day, but whatever. I don't like to use the word manifestation because when you're working on yourself and you become aligned with who you are, your needs and your wants kind of become the same thing, to where you're not really reaching out for certain things just come naturally to you. And so that's why I think when I think regular manifestation, I feel like you're actively going out and doing it. And I guess just living life should be that. You should be able to get everything you want, but it also should be in balance with your needs and your wants. And I feel like when I was listening to this person talk about the reason why she didn't want to share her manifestations, because she would talk about it and she would be met with resistance from people, and it just closed her off. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, if you're rooted in who you are, if you have a strong root chakra, this is why you should work on making sure that you're balanced and aligned within yourself, so that you know that you will always be in alignment with what you're bringing in, no matter what people say. And then you should also work on your solar plexus chakra, because it's kind of taking off a light, dinging a light bulb, if, you know, someone else is making you feel some type of way or inferior, you know, to what you know to be true. And with the thing about the house, you're not getting the house, I learned that, like, you really have to manifest from an aligned self, a balanced ego and higher self. Because sure, your ego might want a house, but like, what if there's some other lessons that you have to learn that, yes, you're talking about your manifestations, but it might be prematurely being like, because I guess it's like the universe can like trick us and like make us think we're getting a house or something might happen, but it's like the bigger picture is you're learning the lesson there. And so it's like someone who is aligned with themselves isn't going to think of that as like a setback and be like, oh dang, I didn't get what I want. It's like, no, if you're setting out to get a house, then maybe there was something in that moment that you had to learn from. And so it's like, if someone's asking you, oh, you're manifesting a house, yeah, but I didn't get this one, but I learned this, bought that, and the third, and it's like, and now here I am. Or maybe you didn't get the house because you still had some other things to clean up when it came to finances or something else, so that you could value this house more. That's kind of how I'm learning how the universe works when it's providing things for you. Anyway, I hope that kind of train of thought made sense, but I just don't want people to be scared when they're bringing in things into their life because they think that it has to go one way. And that's a sense of control that we have to get rid of when we're bringing in things into our life. It's like you have to get rid of the control on how you think that it's going to happen, because it's going to happen regardless because you say so. It's quantum physics. Like, this is all just a big playground. It's just like, it's going to happen, but it's also going to teach you lessons, and it's going to require you to be aware to a certain extent that it's like, you're going to know why things are happening. Because when you look back, as you start to get your manifestations, as things start to become a reality, you think back to the entire journey, because remember, it's about the journey, not the process. And if you're constantly taking yourself out of the present moment and being like, well, I need to be here, well, I need to be here, you're not paying attention to the journey. It's like, this is happening for a reason. This is trying to teach you something. And so I just thought it was peculiar for someone to be a manifesting coach teaching you how to manifest, and then they had videos about the physics of manifestation, but they were leading from this fear-based mindset. And I was like, bro, come on, like, we could do this together. I think it's awesome that you're preaching about that, but it's like, you got to be aware of the energy centers that you're giving off. You got to be aware of the ego. You got to be aware of what that is doing. And so because I talk about this, that's why I wanted to bring it to my platform and just be like, hey, if you see something like this or you feel this way, it's okay to feel this way. It's a valid thing, because think about the society that we grow up in. It's like, we've kind of been trained to do this, but it's like, once you get on the spiritual journey, you're reworking how you go about life. And this is just one of the parts that I feel gets overlooked when it comes to manifesting. Make sure that you are balanced within yourself. That's why I feel like when it comes to manifestation, it becomes easier after you've aligned yourself. Learn about the chakra centers. Learn how to align yourself first, because remember my other videos, you are the constant. And so if you work on yourself as a constant, no matter what situation you're in or what situation you're trying to align yourself with, it's going to always match you, because you are structured in who you are. Nothing outside of you is going to tear you down or tear you off that path or tear you off your alignment. If anything, someone else's conversation is going to serve as a lesson to be like, hey, do I really believe this is for me? Do I really value myself? It's like, okay, cool, no worries. Or how you respond to others is telling you a lot more about the situation than you think. All right, I'm done.